Since being selected in 2018, Trae Young has rapidly made a name for himself as one of the NBA's top talents. The 5th overall pick, who was traded to the Atlanta Hawks in what was originally viewed as a dubious deal with the Dallas Mavericks, has exceeded expectations, putting on legendary performances and crossing off personal milestones in the process. Since entering the college ranks, the next-level player has demonstrated his amazing talent and has only advanced since joining the NBA. He overcame a difficult adjustment phase in the beginning of his rookie season to earn a spot on the all-rookie first team. Despite lacking physical characteristics, his excellent shooting, dribbling, and pace on the ball have helped him become one of the NBA's most dangerous players. His record of assists for the Hawks is also noteworthy, and for a player only 23 years old, is unmatched. Trae Young led the Hawks into the playoffs for the first time in his career in 2021-2022 as he continued to put on outstanding performances. So, in this video, we're going to talk about Trae Young's best moments in his career. Number 1. Atlanta Hawks vs Trailblazers. Guard Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks has made a name for himself in the NBA as an all-star and outstanding player. And Fernie Simons, a guard with the Portland Trailblazers, is still trying to identify his specific position in the league. The two engaged in a backcourt fight on January 20th, 2022, which will be remembered for years to come. In Portland, the Blazers defeated the Hawks 136-131, but Young stole the show for a big chunk of the contest. He scored a career-high 56 points in the end, making 7 of 12 three-pointers and 15 of 15 free throws while shooting 17 of 26 overall. Young scored 56 points and dished out 14 assists, making him the first NBA player to do it in a single contest. Additionally, he became only one of 6 players, along with Oscar Robertson, Michael Jordan, Tony Parker, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, to record 55 points and 10 assists in a single game. Young finished 1 point behind Hawks icon Dominique Wilkins with 56 points, the second most points ever recorded in a single game, who scored 57 points twice in his career. He outperformed Kevin Durant, who scored 51 points for the Nets against Detroit on December 12th with a game-high 56 points. This season, Jaylen Brown of Boston and Stephen Curry of Golden State both had 50-point performances. Number 2. Miami Heat vs Atlanta Hawks. After putting up a strong rookie campaign in the NBA, Trae Young improved even more in the 2019-2020 campaign. Fresh off his all-star performance, Ice Trae displayed a self-assured shooting masterclass while the Hawks faced the Miami Heat, raising the bar for the equipment. Despite winning, the Miami Heat had trouble keeping Young in check the whole game. The player, who played for 39 minutes, concluded the game with an unprecedented 50 points to establish a new career high and a 48% field goal success rate. He made 8 three-pointers during the game, some of which were well beyond the three-point line, which made it difficult for the opponent. Number 3. Atlanta Hawks vs Indiana Pacers. In the first few weeks of the 2019-2020 NBA season, Trae Young tied a career-high 49 points by dominating a game against the Indiana Pacers. The number 11 was effective over the course of a 43-minute effort, outwitting the defense of his foe numerous times as the Hawks jumped out to an early 11-point lead. However, TJ Warren and Jeremy Lamb helped the Pacers mount a comeback in the second half, and they won the game 105-104 on the road. Trae Young concluded the game shooting an impressive 16 of 28 from the field, including 8 of his 15 three-pointers despite the Hawks' disastrous defensive performance. Number 4. Chicago Bulls vs. Atlanta Hawks. During his first season, Trae Young established himself as one of the NBA's most exciting prospects by consistently turning in crucial performances on the failing Atlanta Hawks team. The Chicago Bulls and Atlanta Hawks played on March 1st, 2019, with the Hawks barely losing to the Bulls in overtime, but Young stood out as one of the game's highlights. He continued his momentum from the previous weeks, which had seen him post a then-career best record of 36 points, into the Bulls game. He nailed the memorable three-pointer that sent the game into overtime and had been on fire since the start of the game. Young led the way up front, shooting 17 of 33 while on the floor, despite the Hawks' defense continuing to give up points. As he crossed the 40-point barrier for the first time and finished the game with 49 points, he also made 6 of his 13 three-point attempts, passing his career high in points. Trae Young became the first player since Michael Jordan in 1985 to finish an NBA game with over 45 points, 10 assists, and 5 rebounds. He was one of only 4 rookies to do so. Number 5. Atlanta Hawks vs. Milwaukee Bucks. Trae Young's first 2 seasons in the NBA were underwhelming for the Hawks, who missed the playoffs both times. As a result, many criticized Young for being too individualistic, and his play came under heavy criticism. Even though they didn't advance as far as they would have liked, the Hawks and Trae Young finally had their moment in the playoffs last season. Young had traveled far enough to convince the NBA of his exceptional talent. The point guard outperformed the Milwaukee Bucks in the East Conference opening, triumphing over their star player Giannis Antetokounmpo in a one-on-one matchup. In a tight 116-113 game against the eventual winners, Trae Young scored 48 points to help the Hawks come from behind and win the game. Young managed to make 11 assists while shooting 17 of 34 from the field against the hostile environment, helping the Hawks to an improbable victory on the road. Number 6. New York Knicks vs. Atlanta Hawks. In a fiercely contested matchup, the Hawks defeated the Knicks 140-135 in the end. In his 48 minutes on the field, Trae Young tore through the Knicks while controlling the game's tempo from the point guard position. And finally, number 7. Hawks vs. Pacers. Trae Young scored 33 of his 47 points in the first half, and the Atlanta Hawks beat the Indiana Pacers 131-128 on March 13, 2022. Young set a career high for either half with 33 points in the first half. He had just completed his NBA-leading 23rd straight game with at least 25 points and 10 assists, which came on Friday, March 23, 2022 against the Los Angeles Clippers. That's 10 more than James Harden, the next closest player. He finished with 5 assists. After Atlanta almost lost a sizable lead, Young was forced to make some plays late in the game. When I came back in, they went with the box and won, Young said. When I say box and won, they were face guarding and not letting me catch it. Everyone didn't know what to do when we got in that position. We went over it before, but we've got to be better in those situations, and I think that's what allowed them to get back in the game. So that's the end of the video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and press the notification bell so you never miss out on our next videos. Until the next video, take care.